Hi everyone, Miss Martin here, and today we are going to experiment with electricity, and I'm going to hopefully be able to make a flashlight for you guys. Before we get started with our experiment, let's watch the introduction video so we know what our goal is going to be.
In today's activity, you're going to make a flashlight of your own design. All you need is a battery, an LED light, and some aluminum foil. Like any other light bulb, an LED only lights up when electrical energy flows through it. So before you make your flashlight, you're going to have to do some experimenting to figure out how to make electrical energy flow through that LED. That means thinking about everything you've learned about electrical energy today, and then using that knowledge to figure out different things to try. Experimenting also means just tinkering, messing around with something to see what happens. You'll know when you figured it out, when the LED lights up. Now, here's something to note. While you're experimenting, you'll try lots of things that don't make the LED light up. This might surprise you, but finding out what doesn't work is often just as important as figuring out what does work. After all, once you figure out how to turn the LED on, you'll be making a switch to turn it off. If you get frustrated because you don't get the bulb to light on your first try, then I would ask you to just think about this person, Thomas Edison, the inventor of the electric light bulb. He claims to have tried thousands of ideas that didn't work before he came up with one idea that worked. After he was a success, a reporter asked him how it felt to fail thousands of times. Edison explained that he didn't see it as that he failed thousands of times. It was more like he learned thousands of ways that don't work. Sometimes that's what it takes to solve a tough problem. So it's your turn to be an inventor. It may take you a few tries to get a flashlight that works. I don't think it'll take thousands of tries. We'll help you get started, step by step.
Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do
Find a partner if you can.
is first we're going to start with the battery. So this is your energy source, just like you have batteries in remote control cars, just like you have a battery in your cell phone and stuff like that. This one is a simple watch battery. So you can see one side says plus, which means this side must be the minus side, the negative side. So this is our LED light. If you look at the difference, we have one side is long and one side is short. First, we're going to experiment and try to figure out which side is the positive side, which side is the negative side. Remember, all electricity flows from positive to negative. So first, you need to make a connection. So I'm just going to test out a few things. All right, so putting it like this seemed to make it want to turn on. So let's slide the battery in between. Let's see if we can get it. Yep. So what we figured out here is that the positive side matches with the long part of the LED light, and the negative side, which is this rough side, matches with the short part of the LED light. All right, so that was the first part of the challenge, is making that circuit. Now, just like we learned in the video, metal is something that can conduct electricity. So we're going to make a quick flashlight. And if you guys can try this at home, you can actually find these little mini LED lights and these watch batteries online if you feel like trying on your own. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our card.
Write L plus on one side of the card and S minus on the other, so that you remember that the long wire goes on the positive side of the battery and the short wire goes on the negative side. Then slide the LED onto the card with the long wire on the L side like this.
So L.
Then tape it in place with a sticker like this.
We're going to tape
If your sticker is too wide, cut it. Don't cover the entire wire with tape. Electrical energy won't travel through tape.
Okay. So here's what we have so far. Now, the next thing we need to add is our tin foil. I wonder how we could put these together with tin foil. So remember the fact that the long wire was for positive side, the short wire was on the negative side. We can try and connect one part to the other using tin foil. So I'm going to fold this up, see what we can make. Okay, so I made something that's similar to, like, kind of reminds me of a wire a little bit. So I'm just going to hold it for now until I get it in the right position. So I have one part connected to the positive side. See, we still have to complete that circuit though. So what happens if I were to just wrap it around? Whoops, I lost my LED. It was not taking on there very well. Drop it in. No big deal. Tape it on both sides this time so it stays stable. So we have tin foil touching the positive long part of the wire. So that needs to connect through like that. And remember, we need to make a circuit. So there's a lot of placement that's very important here. Let's try this. So there's the positive, there's the negative. All right, it's not quite turning on, so let's see what else we can do. Maybe we need 2 pieces. So as you can see, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not get it right the first time. A lot of science.
Here's a challenge for you. Now that
a lot of different inventions were created by trial and error, which means you try something, it might fail, and then you try something else. So now we have 2 pieces of tinfoil. I'm going to fold them up, make it a bit sturdier. And maybe if we have one that's on the positive side, connects to the positive side of the battery, and then one that connects to the negative side of the battery. I'm not seeing it light up quite yet. All right, we still need to tinker. Oh, I think I might have found a mistake I was making. I forgot that this side, the side with all the bumps, is actually the negative side. So I'm going to flip my battery to see the positive side. Positive to positive. Negative to negative. And still does not want to light up. What if I scooted it up a bit more? Gotta make sure all your connections are touching metal to metal. And, oh, it turned on for a second there. I think it might also be important that it's just a little bit more shorter. So positive to positive, negative to negative. And there we are. Oh, it's really having a hard time staying lit. But you can see the light is on. All right. So I want you to think about, how could I make an on-off switch for this? All right, I'm gonna tape it together. And then I think I'm gonna leave one of these flaps open to make it my on-off switch. Grab some tape. Make sure we use small pieces of tape. The tin foil conducts the circuit, conducts the electricity. However, the tape doesn't. So you want to make sure as you connect the tinfoil to your connectors, it does not block the flow of electricity. So let's go ahead and tape the positive to this part of the tinfoil. There's one connection. The negative to the other side of the battery. And then you can see we have one that will be taped to the back, and that will connect our negative side. Can you use a big piece of tape for this one? So that's our setup so far. So theoretically, if I just go like that, it should make the bulb light up. And you've got to make sure every connection is touching. Alright, it's not quite working, so you have to keep on messing with it until it does work. So positive to positive, negative to negative. Positive to positive, negative to negative. Still not quite working. There we go. So now it's working when I press down on it. So to make a little switch, I'm just going to put a piece of tape to hold this tinfoil in place. And this is very similar to how an actual flashlight works. Still slightly inconsistent, but I think it's a good start. Alright, thank you for joining me today, guys. And if you're able to, you can order little LED lights and batteries off on Amazon or something like that to try these at home.